Shock the system. Bulletcast for life.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? You know the name, you know the voice, you know exactly why I'm here. I am the greatest sports recreational podcast in the world today, the messiah of the microphone, the podfather. And yes, I am still your reigning, defending Bulletcast champion, just like Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, Roddy Strong, and Adam Cole, baby. This title reign is hashtag forever undisputed. For life. And you know, I was wondering, who am I going to replace Brandon with? People wanted me to use the young boy from last week, which, sorry, kid, never going to happen again. But, I contacted a buddy of mine. Shout out Baby Huey from In the Kliq. This is like podcast talent sharing. Introduce yourself to the people, man.
Hey, what's going on, man? What's up, Podfather?
Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, this is like talent sharing. I love it. I wish the boy Jimbo was with us. But...
I know. Well, first off, thank you for having me on your show. I really appreciate it. I'm a huge fan of everything you guys do and all of your work. And I appreciate all the support you give Jimbo and myself. But yeah, it's a little bittersweet because I'm super excited that you're here. Can we talk about where we're doing the show? Okay.
Absolutely, dude. The BC's never sounded this good.
So yes, you made the trip into downtown San Francisco to be in our studio here, as Jimbo likes to says, live from downtown San Francisco from the Bone Studio.
I love that intro, man.
Yes.
He has a lot of energy. I dig it. I love it.
It's you made a trip in here to use our facility to do your show today, and I appreciate it. Like I said, I'm excited you come here and see our whole setup. But yeah, it's bittersweet because Jimbo's not here. Unfortunately, he has work today. And so I feel kind of bad. Like your first time here, he's not here to kind of help represent and like be like a tour guide or
it's okay. You know, I'm scared to see Jimbo after my sudden heel turn on the Bay Area in support of Canada. Shout out Drizzy, you know.
So just for anyone you guys listening, kind of curious what that's all about. So Jimbo, he works for the Golden State Warriors. He's one of the radio producers for their broadcast. And even though the season's done, they have a lot of post-season stuff. Well, not post-season like the playoffs, but like post-work to do, get ready for next season. And so he has a busy day today. So unfortunately, he couldn't be in here, but he still wants you to come in and do an episode, fellow talent sharing on an episode of In the Kliq at some point.
I'd love you, man. That'd be awesome.
But yeah, no, thank you again making the trip over here in downtown San Francisco.
I know Jimbo's big on plugging your guys' stuff, so just plug it right now.
Okay, so follow In the Kliq. Yes, Kliq, like Shawn Michaels' old group from the 90s. Jimbo, if you couldn't tell, he's the biggest Shawn Michaels fan ever.
Oh my, dude.
So, of course, when we started our wrestling show.
Brett screwed Brett.
Yeah, so when we started our wrestling show last year, that was one of the first things we came up with, and it kind of sums up. Like, we like to think everyone that listens to us are In the Kliq. We're all one big happy family, wrestling family. So follow at In the Kliq, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all that good stuff. We like to post links to like all the breaking news, what's going on out there, and our fellow episodes as well, and yeah, all that good stuff.
Yeah, it's easily recognizable logo. It's like the In Your House logo from the 90s.
Yes.
So if you were a fan during that time, you're like, hey, that looks familiar. I mean, like me with the Bulletcast, it's Bullet Club. Am I copying them? Yeah, sure. The original logo was legit copying them, and we've had a couple, and our last logo I could have gotten sued, so I had to change it up real quick.
Oh, really? Is that why? Okay,
yeah, so
I just asked you about that.
The boys at CBS Sport, Adam Silverstein, I'll mention it. He was really respectful about it. He just said, like, really just change the name, and I did kind of use their kind of lingo because I try to incorporate as many different shows as I listen to into my show.
Yeah.
But our current logo, I mean, I like it. Shout out to my boy In Brightest Day X on Instagram and Twitter. He's up in New York. He made it for me, and that current logo was on Pro Wrestling T/Bulletcast. We have a store there.
I know.
Check it out. But I'm a big fan of In the Kliq, so this is really cool that we're getting to do this.
Yeah.
I haven't really collaborated with anybody.
Well, I think that's the great thing, I think, just about wrestling in general is just us fans. We all have like that common ground of just our passion for this industry. And I'm surprised not more people collab and work. Like, I feel like there's so many wrestling shows out there, like Real Talk. But I always think it's kind of cool when people do kind of cross over and help each other out. That's all it's about.
Yeah.
It's very much I work at the Bone, the Rock Station is very much like supporting the local music scene. I think us supporting each other's wrestling shows, that's what it's all about. It's a coworker of mine, Chasta. She says community over competition.
Yeah, shout out to, how do you pronounce it? Chasta?
Chasta.
Yeah, because I listen to your Second Shift podcast with her, because when I do try to get out of the wrestling element, I enjoy it.
Thank you.
She just took a trip to Disneyland.
Yeah. No, I'm super jealous of her. I have not been to Disneyland in 16 years.
Never been to Disneyland.
Well, I see. I feel
Disney World though.
Oh, okay. Well, Disney World. I've never been to Disney World. I would love to.
You're not missing much.
Well,
I was like 9.
Okay. Well, one of these days we gotta get down to Disneyland.
Dude, I don't know. When I was a kid, people in big costumes did kind of freak me out. That might still be the case now. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I was gonna say.
I guess we're gonna have to go to Disneyland to find out.
You're a wrestling fan. You would like big people in costumes.
I mean, like
in professional wrestling atmosphere, but not like a cartoon character.
I mean, some people did walk past me at Stark. I'm like, Billy Gunn, that is a big man.
Dude, he is like seriously, like when Jimbo and I saw him at WrestleMania at Access, it's amazing how much bigger he is standing next to the guys from the Revival.
Kevin Nash, big man.
Yeah, totally.
And then there's some guys that walk past me that are really not that big, like Adam Page, not that big.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
But like they're like some of the guys from the 90s, the Attitude Era, even to this day, I mean, they stay in great shape. They are huge, massive men, giants in present, like looking at them, like standing next to them. I'm a big guy. I'm 6'4", but even like I see them, I'm like,
Tower
whoa.
of Power right there.
Hell yes.
All right. This chopping it up, we're cool, but let's hop into the wrestling.
Okay.
All right, Bulletcast, episode 126, and Extreme Deadman. We're going to talk about that once we talk about Monday Night Raw.
Okay.
But outside of the ring, so a recent racist rant from Jim Cornette has recently been aired out to the public, and I guess he joins Hulk Hogan in the whole unaired dirty laundry, so to speak. And I heard this. I read the rant. I didn't actually hear it, but he's throwing out that hard R. So, any thoughts on that?
It's like I will admit, like as far as wrestling goes, this is something you gotta separate, like the man versus like what he's done in the wrestling industry. Like I have a lot of respect for him as far as what he's accomplished, how much he respects and appreciates the history of wrestling. As I've seen on was it Dark Side of the Ring on Vice.
The Montreal Screwjob one.
Yeah, but they showed his house. It's like literally a wrestling library.
Yeah, that's awesome.
A museum of all the stuff. And so I respect that he has such a passion for the history of wrestling. He has so much knowledge, all that stuff. Like I would love to like talk to him and like pick his brain and stuff. But as far as the racial side of things, obviously that's very wrong. And what he did, what's been coming out about him, obviously that's not right. And it's but at the same time, like real talk, come on, he's a white Southern guy. Like
I used to live in the South, man. Yeah. So I know. I know. I've been around it.
He's an let me emphasize, older white guy from the South. Like, is anyone really shocked though by this?
Yeah, it's. I think we were more shocked at the Hogan one.
Yeah.
I mean, people expect African American wrestlers and fans to kind of get over it by now, but like, Hulk Hogan, the character, I respect everything that character did. You met Hogan once before, right?
Yes. When WrestleMania came here, it was like 4 years ago, 4.5 years ago, he came to town when tickets went on sale, and he was like doing a big press day coming through. So he came in. It was awesome. He was a very nice guy, being very professional. My brother even came in, and my brother wore an Ichiban Japanese T-shirt.
Shout out to Tommy.
Yes, what's up, Tommy? My brother Tommy, but he wore it on purpose because it's the shirt that my brother got that shirt because he loves Hulk Hogan and he loves his time in Japan, and he wore that shirt once. So I got that for Christmas once for him, and he wore it. And Hulk Hogan, first thing he said when he walked in the room, says, "I like your shirt, brother." And my brother was like, "Yes!" Like he noticed the Ichiban shirt, which means #1 champion in Japanese. But so when I met him, awesome guy. But yeah, obviously what we've learned about Hogan, all the behind the scenes stuff. Obviously, anything racial like that, racist rants, that's not cool.
Yeah, Terry Bollea, the man. I don't know if I'd mess with it, but go check out Great Muta versus Hogan in Japan.
Yes.
When he was the WWF champion. I just saw that recently. He did like an Enziguri and a step over toe hold. I'm like, where was this Hogan when he was wrestling Savage and Warrior, Like,
even Great Muta, because they had that long ramp. He went running the opposite direction and came running back in the clothesline. Hogan.
That was cool, man. That was cool. All right, well, moving on from that, some lighter news. Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff are executive directors of Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live. The news broke a couple hours ago, earlier on in the day. Paul Heyman will be taking over Monday Night Raw. Bischoff takes over SmackDown. What year is it, man? A new Toy Story movie's out. Bischoff, McMahon, and Heyman are in high powers in a wrestling promotion. What's happening right now?
I was going to say, I've seen a lot of people online talk about this. Let's see. You got Aladdin, you got Toy Story, you got Men in Black. Pizza Hut has their old logo again.
Yeah, it's weird, man. What's going
Keanu
on?
Reeves is like loved by everyone again. It's like, yeah, it really feels like the 90s. Like, I feel like a kid again. We need to bring back Toys R Us and we'll be the full package.
It's coming back.
That's what I saw the holiday season. It's like, what? Oh my God. So, for this particular situation, okay, face value, I want to be excited. I want to be happy for all this. It's going to be, I kind of want to know more of the details. Apparently, from what I've been able to gather so far, this is a behind-the-scenes role. This is not necessarily an on-air character.
It's fine with me.
But apparently, both of them will head their respected shows and will report directly to Vince McMahon. That's my one little issue is like, okay, at the end of the day, Vince McMahon still has the final call on stuff, which I know you got your Vince McMahon shirt on right now. So that's my one little, what do you call it? My one little like objective is like, okay, it's great that they're going to oversee the show. I'm guessing there'll be more or less like the filter of like the creative team, the writers, the producers, road agents, all that stuff. And then they probably present it to Vince. So that's my one little thing. They probably, like I said, again, just filter stuff before it gets to Vince. But at the end of the day, it's still Vince making the calls. But hopefully that means he's going to kind of let go some of the power and let them kind of not micromanage everything, let them do their thing. And hopefully this means the brand splits will be reinforced again.
Yeah, I mean, this is a wild card rule right here, you and I.
Yes, absolutely.
No, but I kind of wish Bischoff would take over Raw and Heyman because when he was writing SmackDown back in the early 2000s, it was good. And then Pritchard, we know he works there behind the scenes again, and he was the head of a lot of those backstage segments during that time. So if you can just mix it up like that or something like that, man, that'd be nice.
Well, the other thing, too, keep in mind, and this is just kind of what I've been kind of researching already in the last couple hours, is so Paul Heyman, obviously, he's known very much for his creative mind, what he did with ECW. Even more recently, SmackDown, as you mentioned. But even more recently, he's had a lot of hands-on with Brock Lesnar's run, even Ronda Rousey, all that stuff. Eric Bischoff, more on the other hand, keep in mind, he's definitely more of like the business-savvy guy. So it's almost like they're like polar opposites of each other. While Paul Heyman is the more creative genius, obviously business-wise, that's not his strong suit. We know obviously what happened to ECW. Eric Bischoff, on the other hand, he definitely was very great working with corporate people and stuff like that. So maybe the reason he's going to SmackDown is, keep in mind, they're going to be on Fox in the coming months.
That's true. It's coming up.
So he'd be good more dealing with the Fox reps on a regular basis. So maybe that's kind of going to be his expertise, and then let the team below him kind of run things. And I really hope by each of them in charge, each show's going to have their own identity, maybe different looks for each one, stage setup, ring setup. Like I really, and like I said,
man,
the individual rosters. So I'm excited for this. Hopefully this will lead to some big things.
Absolutely. There needs to be a shakeup or whatever. I'm excited for it. Maybe we get a wild card scene behind the scenes and they swap off too.
Yes.
All right. Will Ospreay and Seth Rollins have a little bit of a Twitter war. So Seth Rollins, I can't remember the platform he was interviewed on, but he said he was basically talked about Jon Moxley in his Talk is Jericho interview, and he said, for the guy to go and say the things they did about the company that gave him everything, not a good look, so to speak. But then again, he went on to Twitter and basically talked about how best wrestler on the planet, what he's doing, nobody else can compare to. And then Will Ospreay's like, hey, I'm here, I'm alive, And then it's stirred up talk amongst the IWC, which anything like that will do. Will they actually wrestle each other? That's not likely. But it's not likely unless Rollins leaves,
Unless like Vince McMahon or someone's like, hey, great publicity stunt. You want to get the fans really talking? One night only. Let Seth Rollins, Will Ospreay in a neutral ring just go at it. Let the internet wrestling community just go crazy and salivate, drool over that possibility.
Yeah, because he used to have a working relationship with NJPW and All Japan back in the 90s.
Yep.
I don't know what changed.
I think Vince he got so big. I think he's like, I don't need help from really other promotions. I can do my own thing. So it's as far as the actual Twitter rant, it was interesting because like initially with like Seth Rollins, his first set of comments, I was like, that's cool. Like, I respect that because, like, he's very much playing the role of the company guy. He's the Universal Champion. I'm sure a lot of people view him as, like, the locker room leader, the captain for WWE. So he's very much playing the role of, like, yes, I am pro WWE. We're the best. But then as the rants kind of kept moving along, and, like, I was like, one thing that kind of just irked me a little bit was, like, he was talking about his bank account and, like, how he's make more money than all these guys. And, like, listen, like,
he's the champion of the universe. Of course he is.
Yeah, but it's like, don't be bragging about your bank account because, like, listen, we all are struggling to get by. Don't be bragging about your money. That's my one little thing. I was like, I don't want to hear about that. Like, listen, of course you work for WWE. You have a big salary from them. Yeah. A lot of these guys are hustling at the other smaller promotions. Obviously, their salaries are going to be a lot smaller. But like I said, initially, I was cool. Ron's, like you said, he's just representing his company to the fullest, even though I'm sure he knows, like, deep down, we all know WWE is going through tough times right now as far as what their product is.
Oh, yeah.
But nonetheless, I respect it. Like he said, he's waving the WWE flag. But it's of course, for fantasy bookings, like, what if these two guys actually could go out? What kind of match they can actually perform?
I don't know. Will they wrestle that WWE style, or will Rollins, Jesus, for one night only, hit that NJPW style, that really hardcore Japanese wrestling style? I don't know. So it's fantasy warfare. Go get the WWE 2K19 video game, create Will Ospreay, download him from Community Creations, and find out.
Yeah, that'd be great. I wonder if someone's done that already.
Probably.
You should search on YouTube.
There's some really talented creators on there.
Oh my God. Like, even the other day, someone redid the old WCW Nitro intro with AEW wrestlers. Yeah. I got to share that again or post it online. But I was like blown away. It's just people today, what they could do at home on their computer is amazing.
Yeah, especially those community creations. I'm a big WWE video games player. I create my universes or whatever because and it's interesting the creation of that AEW world title that looks nice. We're gonna talk about AEW in a little bit, but let's talk about the WWE. They're really going on that sports part of the sports entertainment aspect of their product, and they have a category, the ESPYs. Mm-hmm. So what's going to be the best WWE moment will be Roman Reigns returning to Raw after battling leukemia, Becky Lynch winning the winner takes all match at WrestleMania 35, Kofi Kingston becomes the first African-born WWE champion, or Ronda Rousey wins her first world title in professional wrestling at SummerSlam.
Wow. I mean, part of me is like, when you got leukemia, I feel like everything else is such secondary.
There are people who think it's a work, though.
Yeah, so that's the thing. It's like, I feel like I feel like that's like kind of the obvious winner, just because it's with a disease that kills people.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's overcome those odds, like, I feel like that's hands down. But, like, that Kofi moment, like, what I think it represents.
You were there.
Yeah, like what that culturally represents.
Dude,
and how, like, a lot of people around the world were crying in joy. I really think, like, that's a huge moment, considering, like, what people might view with WWE as far as, like, maybe a lot of old-time thinking, but the fact that's a very progressive move. Becky, winning, I mean, like, that's great for the female division and the women's evolution. I think that's very cool. Ronda,
it's an accolade for her.
Yeah, that's more of a accomplishment. I mean, it's down to Kofi and Roman. Yeah. I mean, I'm leaning more towards Roman just because of the leukemia aspect.
But, the whole Kofi thing for me, I was at a watch party, and I don't cry. I haven't cried in, like, well over a decade. I shed some tears, man, for what that means for me as an African-American male, and to see somebody that looks like me achieve the highest pinnacle in that profession. Yeah. That's awesome,
And Kofi is such a cool dude. Like, just like, off the air, I've been able to interview him a couple times, and he's just really cool. All the guys knew they're awesome people.
I'd love to chop it up with those dudes.
Dude, they are so fun. Like,
I believe it, dude. I saw your
with the unicorn. Like, okay, so
was it WrestleMania 34?
Yeah. So last year, New Orleans, Jimbo and I went to New Orleans, and we there was an opportunity to interview them with Snickers because they were promoting at the time. This is the sponsor. And they were at a TV station, and we told them, like, hey, we're in town. Can we come in person? Because they were just doing phone interviews. So they said, yeah, come on down. We went there, and we did the actual interview in person with them. But Jimbo brought all of his unicorn and, like, merch. So we all decked out. So we were looking like the ultimate New Day fans, and they were so cool about it. Jimbo, as you mentioned earlier, he gives these great introductions.
He does, man.
And he gave an amazing introduction to them. And they were all getting, because, they are known for their introductions coming to the ring. They were like, Big E was so blown away by it. Unfortunately, the cameras were not rolling at that moment. They had a little screw up. So the take, not to break character fourth wall, the video that's online, if you look up...
It's okay, kayfabe's dead.
Yeah, if you look online, our interview on YouTube, that's actually the second take Jimbo does. The first one, we all know how great it was. They loved it. But as professionals, they did their best job to recreate that, oh my God, excitement.
Yeah. I'd love for Jimbo to give me an introduction when I'm on in the Kliq.
Okay,
I gotta
we'll do that. Well, okay, I'll give Jimbo a heads up. He's good at writing something out. We'll get it done.
All right, for sure, I'm down. All right, so Total Bellas returns in 2020. Brandon, my tag team partner, he's the Jada, my Jimmy Uso. He covers Total Bellas and Ms. Misses and Total Divas and all that other stuff. So I'm sure he's very happy.
So is Jimbo. Return. He watches all that stuff. They're like, go ahead, man.
I watched Total Divas when it first came out.
Yeah,
I did because I wanted to see what else can I find out about the business or whatever. I kind of died down off of it as of late.
Yeah, it's still very much it's a reality show, so it makes you wonder how much of that stuff's just planned out in advance.
Yeah, I'd love to interview like Eva Marie or something to find out what was really going on right
Real
there.
dirt. Yeah, that'd be cool.
But that's cool. But speaking with the Bella twins, Nikki Bella, she was on, I think it was Jimmy Fallon, and she revealed that she had a brain cyst, so she really has to just hang them up. And, people crap on the Bella twins, but they got good at the end. Like, that match they had against each other, Hell in a Cell 2014 in Dallas, I was in the arena for it. It was cool, man. I enjoyed it. Nikki got good at the end.
Yeah, I mean, to their credit, I think initially they came out as more like models who were trying to transition into wrestling, and
they never did Playboy.
Yeah, correct. But like when they initially started, they were very green, and it wasn't like the most smooth wrestling, but to their credit, it looks like they really worked on their craft and tried to get better. So I appreciate the effort. You got to respect that. And to both of them, and Nikki dated John Cena for a very long time. Bree's married to Daniel Bryan, so two top name stars in professional wrestling. So I'm sure they picked their brains and learned a lot from them.
Absolutely.
And so I still feel kind of bad that Nikki specifically. I know Bree, she became a mom, but Nikki, her career seems to cut a little bit short because of these injuries and what she's been going through. It makes me kind of wonder, could they have been potentially like tag team champions?
I wonder if she hadn't have done the rack attack. Like, if she had a different finisher, would that have helped her out? Most likely, yeah, because I think that was a big part of
the stress on her neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes me wonder, I mean, that's the thing about wrestling. It's always that what if scenario.
Absolutely.
So, but as long as but regardless, if you look at her body of work, hey, she's one of the most successful female wrestlers in the business.
Yeah, the longest reigning Divas champion of all time.
Absolutely.
There you go. All right, so some people have signed some new deals with WWE. The Good Brothers, hey now, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, they signed a new 3-year deal.
They did?
Yeah, with the
I've
WWE.
Oh.
So maybe we get some talking shop and Botchamania on the network or something, dude.
Oh, my God. Wait, did that just come out?
It came out a couple days ago.
Oh, my God. Okay, I've completely missed that. No, thank you for telling me.
I don't remember, dude. But yeah, so I'm excited to see what they can do. Hopefully they get pushed, man. Hopefully. Come on, man. Like,
I mean,
they're good.
Well, going into the Raw recap in a bit, I mean, I wonder what's kind of brewing right now is a sign that something's coming up for them.
Yeah.
But I'm shocked by that just because they were like one of the top names that they were going to leave and go join their former New Japan brothers, the Young Bucks and all that at AEW.
Yeah, I mean, after Double or Nothing, I was saying like, hey guys, there's a revolution going on outside of those walls. If Moxley can break out, you can too. I was saying stuff like that. Wow. But hopefully they can reach another level of success. Throw the club back together with AJ. Is that 2016 run up until they got separated? It was fun. Mm-hmm. Like I was watching that SummerSlam 2016 just the other night and watching that stuff. It was cool. But the modern day Maharaja, the former WWE champion of the world, Jinder Mahal, signed a 5-year deal with the company. I'm not gonna lie, I missed that character, dude. Because like people will crap on that run. He got good like the last month and a half. He was starting to come into his own. Maybe they should have had the U.S. title at first and then put him into that upper echelon. But, I mean, he had one of the best entrances at the time. Mm-hmm. So put him in the U.S. title picture or IC. Or you know what? I know we love the 24/7 title. A serious badass Jinder Mahal going after that title wouldn't be such a bad thing.
We had it for a little bit in the airplane before R-Truth took it off him again.
Yeah, he did it like twice or something.
Yeah, so he's a champion maybe for a combined, 30 minutes, whatever the time frame was.
Yeah, that's funny.
But with Jinder, like, okay, real talk, I mean, there's the big thing in wrestling right now, there's all these speculations, all these different wrestlers, their contracts are about to come to an end. Are they all going to jump ship and leave? But realistically, all the ones that are coming off the books, what are their options? AEW, for example, can't take every single one of them.
Yeah.
They don't have the resources, the money to sign every single person, and they have their own talent they need to develop.
Yeah, go listen to Tony Khan. He did an interview with Chris Van Vliet. I'm a big fan of his. He was talking about like would he like to sign as many talents as he could? Yes, but he's a businessman. He has a strategic way of doing things. So I mean, you can make a living outside of WWE now. Like
yes.
You could. I know All Ego Ethan Page was thinking about going over to WWE, but he didn't want to uproot his life in Canada and move to Florida with his new baby. So he's comfortable at Impact now. And then Eli Drake made a nice living in Impact, or should I say Eli Drake? Dummy, yeah. He did good there. But I mean, you can just travel the Indies or whatever. You could jump ship and go to Japan. There's Noah, there's Dragon Gate, there's in JPW. There are a lot of options, or you can just be on like Vicky Guerrero and be on the convention circuit for the rest of your life.
There's a lot of options, but what I'm saying is like everyone's like, oh my God, AEW is going to save wrestling and sign all these people. It's like, well, no, they can't sign everyone. And even like a guy like Jin, I mean, even for AEW, they don't want to be WWE 2.0 and just be
they don't want to be like WCW or even what TNA was and just sign former WWE superstars.
Exactly. So for a guy like Jinder, he probably like realistically is like, listen, what are my options out there? AEW probably doesn't want me, and Ring of Honor, all these other promotions. For him, it's like, you know what? Let me sign a 5-year contract that's guaranteed money.
Sit in the back and eat some really good catering.
Yeah, I'm be used whenever, and I'm sure for him, he's probably got a nice little payday or raise, and he's probably like, real talk, being under the WWE umbrella is a little more job security than maybe any of these other promotions.
Absolutely. I've heard he's a really nice guy too.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, I've heard that. I'd love to chop it up with Jinder and be like, dude, people crapped on your run, but I when I met Jack Swagger at APW at the Cow Palace, I told him like, people crapped on your run, dude. I enjoyed you as world heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, thanks, man. So like, the people whose runs they crap on, I really go back and look at it. I watch a couple matches and promos. I'm like, wasn't that bad?
Yeah, it's. I think wrestling fans, they like to be critical in the moment, but then when you take a second to kind of like look back, there's a lot of great moments all throughout the years.
There have been worse WWE champions than Jinder Mahal.
Yeah.
I'll throw Cycle Sid's name out there. I don't care.
Well, what was it? I think was it Brian Zane, Wrestling with Regret. He did a video comparing Jinder to JBL. Very similar as far as like someone kind of out of nowhere just skyrocketing, all of a sudden new character gimmick. Bradshaw, yeah, and then just put being a champion out of nowhere. Yeah. So like an RKO.
280 days.
Yeah. So it's interesting. But yeah, Jinder, I looking back on it now, I think he did what was asked of him, being a professional, going out there, and there was some entertaining stuff out of that. I mean, I know the match with Randy Orton in the what do you call it? The
Punjabi prison?
Yeah. I mean, obviously visually it was hard to look at from a wrestling fan to watch.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think he was fine. He was a good heel. Yeah.
All right, so lastly on Outside of the Ring, this is probably the longest Outside of the Ring ever, but I like it. If you watch the Nightmare Family YouTube channel, I think it was the Road to Fight for the Fallen, Brandy Rhodes announced that the AEW Women's Championship will debut at All Out.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, so what do you think it's going to look like, dude?
Okay, because the AEW world title very much inspired, looks like from the New Japan Championship. Also,
but it's based after like the Mid-Atlantic title.
Yes, and my brother told me about that.
Brandon will say that it looks kind of gaudy, but like that title looks beautiful. It does.
Oh my God, the way it shone! Like when we saw Bret Hart hold it up at Double or Nothing, it was kind of hard to see from a distance on the camera. But
I was up there and it was shining.
Yeah, but Cody put the video, like he filmed it up close, and it's like, wow, how sparkly and shiny it is. It looks beautiful.
It does.
But I wonder. I would think they would probably kind of keep it similar a little bit,
because I know Cody. He's a history guy. Yes. Like he respects the people that came before him. Mm-hmm. Maybe he'll go after because the current NWA Women's title that Allison K. Sienna has.
Okay,
it looks cool. It's old school. It's a throwback.
I love the old school titles. Like this is something I've talked with Jimbo before about. Are
we talking like that Buddy Rogers WWF title?
No. I'm a fan of big titles as far as like big circular looking plates, shiny gold. Like
Yeah.
Like the current WWE and Universal Championships, where it's kind of like pointy, like triangular downward. I'm not a fan of that.
Oh yeah, you think they hit them in the crotch, right?
Yeah, yes. Like, imagine if you're the champ, which you wear it around your waist, you sit down, that pointy thing is going to stab your crotch. That's my take on that.
That's why Austin he just carried it in his hand.
Yeah, he didn't
Exactly
want
why.
to. But like the Wing Eagle 90s belt, that's forever the clout. The one you got to hold that.
Yeah, Jimbo, if you're listening to this, SummerSlam night was like 95 up until WrestleMania 14. That was the title used on TV.
Yeah,
I held the same title as Sean.
That's awesome. Like, to me, that's like the ultimate best title. But the one right after that, mostly when Austin was king of WWF at the time.
You're talking about the Smoking Skull?
No,
that's the. I think they call that the Large Eagle.
Yeah, it very much like
I liked that one.
I like it too. I just like how big it was, how big the circular look was to the plates on there. That's like one of my favorite titles.
I mean, the woman's title, like back in the 90s and 2000s, I liked it. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, the one with the red writing on it. Yeah,
and then the TNA Knockouts title, like
back
when like Velvet Sky and Angelina Love were there, like I liked that title too. So
I'm all for it as long as it's big, it's shiny, it can see the logo nice and clear, and the person's name displayed. That's what I look for. Just hey, you're the champ. Walk proudly with a big displaying belt around your waist.
Dude, speaking of that, so. I listened to a podcast. Big Show told this story back when he won the WCW title.
Yeah.
He walked through the airport with it on because Hogan and the guys were like, oh, yeah, walk with it on, brother. And then Sting went up to him and was like, you look like an effing idiot. Take that off.
Because he was so young at that point, and probably he didn't know any better.
That's funny.
The old guy's getting him.
95 Paul White.
Yes.
All right, let's get into it. Inside of the ring. So Fyter Fest this Saturday. We have some big matches. You have Cody Rhodes going up against Darby Allin. Check out the Wrestlers documentary that's on Viceland. He was... featured on there quite heavily in the first episode, and his feud had evolved with Ethan Page. He got hit with a shovel, and his elbow was kind of split open. So I'm a fan of Darby Allin. You have the Elite getting back together with Kenny and the Bucks going up against Pentagon, Ray Phoenix, and I forget who their partner's going to be.
It is, so it's going to be the Lucha Brothers, and I just was looking it up the other day because they just announced it right at the AAA show or post AAA show,
something like that.
It is going to be Laredo Kid. Laredo Kid. Am I saying that right?
I know who that is.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a very fun 3-on-3 tag match.
You have a fatal 4-way with Maxwell Jacob Friedman, who I'm very high on. By the way,
me too,
dude. He's my age. I feel like I've wasted my life. I'm only 23. I feel like I've wasted my life.
Oh, dude, you're coming from me. I'm 35. You are.
Hey, man, DDP got in at 35, dude. There's still time.
Oh, totally, dude. You could be a manager right now. You could be driving someone in a Cadillac, and then eventually get your run after that. I'm just saying.
You never know. You never know. Maxwell Jacob Friedman going up against Jungle Boy. He has ties here in the All Pro Wrestling in the Bay Area. He's going to be at King of the Indies next week.
Yes.
I'm excited for that. You going?
I want to. I have not bought my tickets yet.
I get paid at like midnight, so I'll probably buy them.
I'd see that's kind of my situation too. Like, off the record, price is a little bit higher for this one, but I get it. It's a big deal.
It's a big show, yeah.
So I get it. You big name towns come in. You got to pay for all those guys. But yeah, I kind of probably bought my ticket last minute for that one.
Yeah. And then Jimmy Havoc, I saw him at StarCast too. He's a really nice guy.
Okay.
And then, of course, Adam Page, who's an effing horse. So Fatal 4-Way, that's going to be interesting to see. And there's a triple threat. There's Nyla Rose going up against a couple of the Joshis that were at Double or Nothing in that 6 Joshi tag match.
Yuka Sasaki and Rio.
Rio, yeah. I think Rio is the... Do you remember Kenny Omega wrestling that little girl in Japan? I think that's her. Because she was in that match.
Okay. Now, Kenny, on the latest episode, being the lead, I haven't watched all the way through, but he was doing the Q&A email section, fan mail.
Yeah.
And I think he said it's a different... Oh, God. Don't take my word for it.
Don't quote you on that one?
You don't quote me on that one, but he addresses it on the latest episode being the Elite.
Cool. All right, so we'll Fyter Fest. It's free. Bleacher Report Live. I just downloaded the app. Just watch it, stream it. It's going to be cool. Evolve's 10th anniversary show is also the same night. It's going to be aired on the WWE Network. Was that a Hunter move or was that a Vince move? Don't know.
Part of me wants to say Triple H, but
apparently Kenny was not happy about that one.
Yeah, he
said if you can take blood money, then what's wrong with doing a show to help gun violence or something like that?
Yeah, he posted a tweet, but then I think he deleted it. I went try back looking for it, and I couldn't find it. But it's It's gonna be interesting. So wait, this is so Firefest is this Saturday, right?
Yes.
And Evolve is in July. You're talking about the 10th anniversary.
Yeah, no, that's this Saturday also.
Evolve has 2 shows.
I'm talking about the 10th anniversary shows this Saturday.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
On the WWE Network.
oh, because I'm looking on Instagram. They says July 3rd. That Evolve show is going to be the same day as Fight for the Fallen.
Oh, okay.
So that's what the comparison to AEW versus.
My bad.
Yeah. Okay, so this Saturday is Fyter Fest.
Okay.
And then their next AEW show is Fight for the Fallen, which is July 13th, same day. Evolve is putting their 10th anniversary show.
I was like half asleep when I put this on the script.
It's all
I'm
good.
not even gonna lie.
So yeah, so that's what's going on. So in July it's going to be Evolve going up against AEW, but Evolve has the backing of WWE because that's like their independent promotion they work with for NXT down in Florida, right?
Yeah, the Street Profits have been there. I think they were the Evolve Tag Team Champions.
Yeah.
Yes. But Ring of Honor Best in the World is actually this Saturday.
Okay.
Matt Taven's going up against Jeff Cobb. Jeff Cobb is the APW Universal Champion. He has ties here to the Bay Area. Interview Jeff Cobb once. Show, dude.
Cool dude, man. It's so good to see one of our own from the Northern California wrestling scene making it big right now, Ring of Honor.
Yeah, I was a fan of Matt Taven when he was in the Kingdom, like with Mike Kanellis or Michael Bennett.
Yeah.
Call him back in the day. But I was shocked when he won the title. I was like, really? But I haven't really looked at his run, so I don't know how it's been. But kudos to him. I don't know the rest of the card. I can't tell you.
Well, honestly, that match you're talking about where he won, Ring of Honor just put that up for free on their YouTube page.
Okay.
So check it out because it was voted, I think, match of the year for the first half of the year. It was voted.
Really?
So they put that whole thing up on YouTube. I haven't had a chance to watch it because I have not actually seen that Madison Square Garden show.
I haven't seen anything from it either.
So that's a good way to start. Just watch that one match to start with.
Jay Lethal was champion. That was him, Taven, and Marty Scurll.
Yes.
In that triple threat ladder match. So that's cool. Absolutely, dude. All right, well, let's hit into the This Day in Wrestling. The King of the Ring 1999 was won by Billy Gunn. The one Billy Gunn.
Yeah.
There was a Raw on this day in 2011. It is the CM Punk pipe bomb.
Really?
Yep.
Man, it's 8 years already.
I remember watching that live. I was favoring TNA at a point because that's when Bobby Roode was broke up with Beer Money and was on that heel run with the TNA title. And then I turned that on and he said the company would be better if Vince McMahon was dead. And Phil Brooks, I was like, wow, this is some hot fire.
Wow.
He gave me like 15 hot minutes. I loved it.
Damn, that was 8 years ago now. I'm just in shock. Like,
I remember like it was yesterday. Yeah.
Man, just think about how much has happened in the last 8 years since then.
I kind of go in order with this, but I messed that one up. Anyway, SmackDown 2002, the debut of John Cena, ruthless aggression, slaps Kurt Angle in the face.
Really? That was the same day as, as far as June 20. Wow.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff.
17 years ago,
stuff
dude.
happened on this day in history.
I know, right? Great American Bash 2004 that was a bull rope match with Guerrero and JBL.
Okay.
And then that was when Paul Bearer gets buried in cement.
Yes. Oh, my God.
And then Jeff Jarrett goes in the TNA Hall of Fame in 2015.
So he's a 2-time Hall of Famer.
Oh, of course.
Right?
So was the Dudleys and Sting?
Yes. Is that still a thing? Is Impact still doing kind of their...
I have no idea.
I think they just need to worry about getting on TV. Correct episodes.
They're on Twitch, bro.
I need to catch up on Impact. Consider everything going on with Killer Cross right now. Jimbo's preaching how awesome he is.
Yeah, that's a big guy, too.
I know. Lucky
when
man.
I met Scarlett Bordeaux, I was like, oh. Dude, I'm just here for the picture and the autograph, bro.
Just photo and I'll leave.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the fan mail. So, coming up first, Hootie Hoo 420. That's when Brandon would go Hootie Hoo.
Oh, you want me? Hootie Hoo?
No, just wait. Ricochet and Styles was damn good on Monday, but where are they going to go with? Where are they going to go with Styles and the Good Brothers? We could talk about that once we get to Raw.
Okay.
Jack of all trades, he just said Joe. We're going to talk about that also.
Okay.
Nigerian Prince. Cornette is just the latest to have a racist rant aired to the public. Who else do you think has one?
Ooh. Oh, my God.
This was a couple years ago. I watched, it was a Bad News Brown interview before he died in 07, R.I.P.
Uh-huh.
And he was talking about how he was on a bus and he was on a tour with a couple guys, and Andre the Giant was saying the N-word. It wasn't the hard R, but it was the G-A. And he told him to shut up, and Andre didn't do it. And then he got up in Andre's face and yelled at him to shut up, and apparently Andre never said the word again.
Okay, well,
that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, probably Andre realized in the moment, okay, I shouldn't be using that word.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Who to Who 420 again. Bischoff and Heyman leading Raw and SmackDown. Now, is that enough to save the ratings and increase ticket attendance? I don't know, man. Hopefully.
It's going to take some time, though, because it's not like people are going to jump and go see them right away next week. You got to kind of win people's trust back over again. It's going to take, I think, a few weeks to see how the product develops and hopefully changes. I wouldn't say overnight, but, pretty quickly. It's, if in a few weeks things start getting better, just maybe little adjustments, then you start piquing some interest again.
Attention to detail.
Exactly.
Continuity is my biggest thing with wrestling. I want it to make sense.
Yes. But I think you got the reason attendance is low right now. I think a lot of people, what people spend their money on. I mean, listen, like I mentioned earlier, people are struggling to get by everyday life, and what we spend our hard-earned cash on, we don't want to put it into maybe a product that we're not completely behind or supporting, or we think it's not they're performing their best. So I think they got to prove it first. They got to go out there and improve the TV show, and then start winning people back that way.
Absolutely, man. Because when Raw was out here a couple of weeks ago, I know you were there, you and your brother. I didn't go because after Double or Nothing, I was just like, eh. And I'm the biggest WWE fan ever, and I'm just like, eh.
But even I didn't post this online, but I mean, just looking behind me, there were sections blocked off, and
I believe it.
Stuff that was outside the camera view were all blacked out or tapered off the seats and stuff. So, they that's what they've been doing for a while now, is like trying to fill up the seat fillers.
I believe it, man. It's something that we're going to come to see. All right, let's jump into the Raw recap. So, an Extreme Rules mixed tag match with high stakes is made. The Man, Seth Rollins, and his girlfriend, the Man, Becky Lynch, are out there cutting promos with each other.
Yeah.
And this is after Stomping Grounds, where Lacey Evans was made the special guest referee. I knew that was going to happen because WWE, they posted something like a couple days before Stomping Grounds as Lacey Evans in the referee shirt. Then they quickly deleted it. I'm like, oh, she's going to be the referee. And then so that happens, and then Corbin and Lacey Evans winner take all match against Seth and Becky at Extreme Rules mixed tag. Now the last time we've had one of these was SummerSlam 2008. Glamorella, Beth Phoenix and Santino go in as the challengers against Kofi Kingston and Mickie James for the Intercontinental Women's titles.
Okay,
and the challengers win. So,
I was gonna say that was last time mixed
tag winner take all
Yeah. So I was thinking last year's WrestleMania, Ronda, Kurt Angle versus Triple H, but that was for no titles.
No.
Even Cena and Nikki versus Miz and Maryse.
No, there were no titles.
No titles. Gotcha.
Nobody had titles.
Gotcha. Okay. Part of me kind of laughs at the idea that potentially Lacey Evans, let's say she sneaks out a pin over Becky. Lacey Evans could be the reason Baron Corbin's champion.
I'm not on this Lacey Evans bandwagon, dude.
Really? I see potential. I just wish she spent like at least another year down at NXT.
Yeah, like some people get called up way too quick.
Exactly. I like her look.
Kind of adjusted. Sorry to cut you off.
Well, no. I was just saying I like Lacey Evans' look.
The debutante character's cool.
But it just, I think ring wise and just like building up just that nice flow of telling the story in the ring needs some work.
Honestly, just let her manage Corbin.
Yeah, that could be something.
Yeah. And Corbin, like, I love you, dude, but the TGI Fridays gimmick's not working for me anymore. Throw back on a cut-off sleeve T-shirt. Throw back on your tights, dude. Because, like, they took away everything that made him cool and badass when he was beating Juice Robinson in, like, 14 seconds in NXT.
Yeah.
Like, they took all that away.
And like, real talk, like, Jimbo rolls his eyes when I say this, but, like, Baron Corbin, he's always been nice to me. Like, honestly, I interviewed him once up at Aftershock when he was with NXT. Still awesome dude. He's a huge metalhead, so we were geeking out. We have a lot of mutual friends in the metal scene. And even at the last Raw in San Jose, he got involved in the main event, and he got, like, knocked out of the ring. They went off TV. He was standing there, and I was sitting third row, and I was like, Barrett! I was waving. He saw me, and he pointed me out. Because, like you said, when we did Radio Row WrestleMania in New Orleans last year, he walked by and he stopped by and said, hey, what's up, man? So we chatted for a bit. So every time I see him, even he'll respond to like stuff on Twitter that I'll send him or Instagram. So I appreciate Baron always makes the time for me personally.
No, I'm incredibly high on Baron. Like, I love Baron Corbin.
Yes.
Like, I'm ready for a Baron Corbin title run.
Really?
Yeah. People, like, I'm a fan. Apparently, he's being pushed for his good looks. That's what I
hear.
Vince,
apparently rumor has it.
God damn it, he looks good.
That's good S right there.
Look at those jowls.
Yeah. Do the rest of the show in Vince voice. Yeah. What else you got, Podfather?
Well, you see, babe, I'm not going to go into Dusty. I'm just like, no, but yeah. So I mean, I like Corbin. I do. If Corbin won the Universal title, I might be like, what?
Ooh, that's ballsy. I don't know about you. Let me ask you this. I'm a little bit tired of them beating into our head that, hey, Seth and Becky, they're dating.
Well, they did that for this reason.
But that's the thing. It's like, okay, cool. People date. Like, how many times wrestlers have dated each other? We get it. But it's like the really fact that they keep enforcing it. It's like, okay, who cares? I don't know. I just like it. Just when I first heard it once or twice, it was cool, and then they did the whole social media post on it, and it's like, okay, like move on. But now it makes sense. They're going to use it as a storyline.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see. Baron Corbin is Universal Champion. Cool. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's. Dude. I'm not a fan of the Universal title, dude. Like APW Universal title all day.
Yeah, that was the original one.
That's a real Universal Championship, Vinnie Mac. You heard it here first. Nobody listened to that. I don't know, dude. I've said some things on this show, and then like a month later it happens on TV.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, like I joked around about Shane McMahon winning the WWE title. Now I see that all over the place.
It could happen, man.
And then what did Jimbo say? Brock cashes in on him.
Yes.
Oh, dude, major babyface turn for
first night on Fox.
I think he's going to cash in on Fox regardless, dude.
Yeah, I think that's the plan. I think
makes sense.
With his UFC background and UFC's legacy with Fox, it makes sense for Brock to do something big on that first episode of SmackDown on Fox.
Yep. All right, we're moving on from that. The Undertaker returns to Monday Night Raw. It was a handicap match between the Scottish psychopath Drew McIntyre, who I'm very high on, by the way. When he lost to Roman at Stomping Grounds, I was like, oh, my God.
Yeah, I thought that could have been a great way just to keep Drew's momentum going. And Roman could eat a loss
It was a far better match than
WrestleMania.
Yeah. I mean, Drew didn't beat him because he's not the best in the world like Shane McMahon, you know. So Shane, he's on the top rope going for the coast to coast, and the gong hits, and I'm like, oh, what's happening here? And dude, those choke slams look far better than Super Showdown. You know, they were selling for him. All you need is a nice dance partner, man.
Absolutely.
That's why Terry Funk's still out here at 75 taking table bumps.
He's the man.
He is.
I know for a lot of people are like kind of scratching their heads like, this is just kind of random. Like
After his last match, I don't blame him for trying to get another one.
He's like, dude, give me one more.
Like, would you really want to be remembered for that?
And apparently I saw earlier, like there's a rumor that Undertaker turned in a list of like names of current wrestlers he wants to have matches against, and Drew McIntyre's on that list.
This is what you do. Let's say Taker and Roman win at Extreme Rules. The Roman things, is done with Drew and Shane.
Mm-hmm.
Drew versus Taker at SummerSlam. Drew goes over.
Yeah. Maybe Undertaker at this point will finally, pay it forward, do a favor, and help put some guys over.
Yeah.
Well, but see, the thing is, like, it's cool he showed up, did his thing, but at the same time, it's like, okay, you're partnering with Roman now after he beat you a couple years ago at WrestleMania.
Like, doesn't make sense.
Well, yeah, like the continuity's sake, but it's like, couldn't you have done something this past week to kind of maybe set it up, and then the following week kind of explain more what was going on, and then set the matchup after that? Like, maybe they kind of rushed into it.
He'll explain in a promo on Raw.
Yeah. Listen up, Roman. You won my respect when you beat me. Now we're going to be partners now.
Something like that, man. You never know.
So we'll see what happens, but I hope it's a solid match. I think especially it's going to be tagged, it's a good way to kind of just limit Undertaker's time in the ring and let Roman do the majority of the work.
Yep. All right, so the Usos won an 8-man elimination tag team match on Raw that involved the Usos, the Raw and SmackDown tag team champions of the Revival, and Daniel Bryan and Rowan, and then the Usos teamed with the New Day.
Yes.
So it was a big win for the Usos, for themselves. I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Also, okay, was this also one of the matches where you hear about the new rumor, like Vince does not want wrestling to take place during commercials? And so that's why
I haven't heard about that.
Okay, so that's why this past week on Raw and SmackDown, they've been doing a lot of 2 out of 3 falls, or a lot of, you hear the announcers, either Phillips or Michael Cole, saying, we're going to reset right now during the commercial break. So apparently there's a rumor that Vince McMahon, new policy right now, that he does not want wrestling to take place. Because, normally when wrestling happens on TV, usually they'll do like a rest hold in the arena.
Yeah.
And so that way the wrestling's still going on for the people in attendance, but on TV, we're in the middle of commercials. but they'll do a rest hold, and the ref will tell them like, "Hey, we're back live. Go ahead and get back into your groove."
I haven't been to a WWE TV taping in so long.
Yeah.
The last thing I was at was like TLC.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, SmackDown Live, sometimes they'll have the picture-in-picture to show wrestling's going on. But even then, it's kind of just more rest holds. But apparently now, Vince does not want wrestling to take place during commercials. That's why you're seeing all of a sudden 2 out of 3 fall matches. Okay. So apparently they'll do a segment, and someone will get the first pin, fall of some sort. Then they take a break, go to commercial, and that's when the announcer this week says, okay, we're going to reset. We'll be right back. They come back. They start up the second part of the match. And then, so I don't know. For me, it just kind of sucks because I feel like it's a lot of stop and go. It kind of ruins the flow of the match. So hopefully maybe with Paul Heyman, Eric Bischoff, they'll kind of get rid of that pretty quick, that concept.
I feel like it's kind of like, because I'm an amateur wrestler. I coach wrestling.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like periods. Like, all right, first period, boom, that's over.
Break.
And then we'll get they don't really get a break. You just get it like so they can reset the clock or whatever, and then second period hits.
Okay.
And so I can kind of see that element of it, and then so that okay, all right, that's something new and interesting.
So interesting to see if they'll do that next week, and how if this is something that's long term going to be going for TV structure.
Yeah. All right. The 24/7 championship was on the line in the actual match. R-Truth defeats Drake Maverick to retain the title. And then all of a sudden, Heath Slater, Cedric Alexander, EC3 all become 24/7 champion. Then R-Truth pins EC3 and escapes as a 9-time 24/7 champion.
I mean, like, I don't want this to ever end. I don't want R-Truth to ever not be 24/7 champion.
The European 7-Eleven champion.
He is awesome. This title was built for him. I wonder if they saw, back, was it February when he had his U.S. title run? They saw that he's very entertaining as a champion. So I wonder if this title was brought back mostly or introduced for him.
Going back to that, what they should have done, honestly, like he could have wrestled John Cena, but Thugonomics John Cena. Like, I don't recognize this John Cena. That would have been funny. I would have popped for that. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, we crapped on the 24/7 title. Like, a lot of people at StarCast were crapping on it.
Yeah, I mean, come on. We like real talk. We know it's not the most sexy looking title design,
but for $400 on the WWE shop, you can buy that.
This past weekend, it was all titles were 50% off.
Oh,
I went a little crazy because they on Raw they said buy one get one shirt for $1.
I love that. This shirt cost $1.
Yes, so I bought 6 T-shirts on Monday. So I can't wait to get my new Undisputed Era shirt, my Adam Cole shirt.
Yeah, man.
Macho Man shirt. So I got a whole new wardrobe coming to me.
Macho Man is
yeah. But as far as the 24/7 title, yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah, it's a great filler, comedic segment.
People, yeah, I feel like they should like on Raw and on SmackDown, or one or the other. An actual match should happen every week, 10 minutes.
Ooh, okay.
Like, and we gotta stop winning the title with roll-ups. Like, I remember when Molly Holly got smacked in the face with a door and lost the hardcore title. Like, let's stop winning with roll-ups. Like, let's have actual sanctioned matches on TV.
Okay.
Or whatever, and then
mix in
the anarchy can happen.
Okay.
With the 24/7 title of people chasing R-Truth.
Okay, I'm all for that. Yeah, that's actually an interesting concept. Like, when's the last time 24/7 title in its current existence had an actual just regular match? It's always just out of nowhere, like someone being rolled up. So I'm all for that. Maybe Paul Heyman will introduce that.
Yeah, and then or just throw Pete Dunne in the mix and have him take the 24/7 title onto the UK.
That's the thing. When they say it was supposed to be defended on NXT or it's allowed to, I have not seen it showed up there.
Would you? Who in NXT could really pull that off though? Because NXT is a really serious product.
I know. Yeah. Like Matt Riddle could be like, bro, like I don't know, just randomly,
and then just knees him in the Cassius Ohno. There we go.
Yeah,
knockout artist.
Yeah,
great theme song by the way.
Oh yeah. Oh no,
throw it on him. All right, what else happened on Raw? The Viking Raiders defeated the Good Brothers.
It's just a little bumming just to see Good Brothers lose again, but I think it's building to something. It looks like AJ is trying to motivate them, trying to get them back on track. So maybe he's gonna be like a coach and make them reach down deep inside and unleash that inner monster again and kind of maybe reset them a little bit.
If we get Bullet Club AJ on WWE main roster, I'm all for it.
Dude, there's a way they can do it right now. Like, I'm all for it. Like, I would be super amped for that. And, like, maybe do some recruiting as well, like, kind of build up a new stable. I mean, hey, Bischoff, he's on SmackDown right now.
He's
but
a fan of stables.
Yeah, I mean, he, brought NWO, which he got the idea from over in Japan. So
that's very true.
So I wonder if he could bring that back.
All right, I feel like it was 1988 because Braun Strowman defeated Bobby Lashley in a tug-of-war contest.
It was like, they probably were like, okay, because they had like was arm wrestling thing a few weeks ago, and then they both were kind of forgotten about, going through the Super Showdown and Stomping Grounds. Now it's like, oh yeah, these two guys, let's bring back this little rivalry they have going. So it was just,
what are we doing with Bobby Lashley, bro?
I know, I feel bad, dude.
What's happening?
I don't know. It's. But you can say that for a lot of guys currently on the roster for Raw and SmackDown. So, yeah, he's just one of many. It's like...
Bobby, just go down to NXT. Feud with the Dream. Do something like that.
Ooh.
I know.
That'd be something.
That'd be interesting. I feel like, because like Tyler Breeze, like, he instantly became important once he went down to NXT.
And Triple H has done, I think, a conference call recently and said, like, he wants NXT not just be known as developmental, but like as like a third brand where guys can bounce back down there and have no problem. Like Tyler Breeze, he said, is back on NXT.
Yeah. You see, the thing is, like, I missed the draft option, or I was a fan of the randomized draft. The do.
Yeah.
Oh, someone's like, could you imagine? Oh my God, Dolph Ziggler's in NXT. Just something random like that can happen.
Like a veteran like that, and be like, what? And maybe he's like a little opposed to it at first.
And then he can just float around in the North American title picture and just have matches with Dream and Riddle, and for one night only just go up against Strong or something and be badass.
Totally. Dude. That's awesome. But he's like, I'm just going back to him to like Braun Strowman. Like, I feel like he's just kind of wandering around right now. They have nothing major for him. He should be champion.
I'm not there with Braun either.
I mean, he does have his limitations as just a big guy.
Yeah, because I feel like he doesn't need the championship, honestly. I was opposed to him winning the Universal title. Because
really?
Like, Andre the Giant was the biggest draw in wrestling for 15 years. He held the WWE title for like 40 seconds.
That's what I've said before. It's like sometimes when you're the biggest guy, that could be a little bit of a detriment because you can be viewed kind of maybe a little one-sided or one-dimensional. And you're more of an attraction, but you're not necessarily maybe like the number one title holder in the company.
Absolutely. I feel it. All right, so moving on from that, we have Kofi Kingston defeating Kevin Owens in a match. Then he defeats Sami Zayn in a match. And just Kofi looking really strong as the WWE champion. Then he gets choked out by Samoa Joe. It's been made official for Extreme Rules. Kofi Kingston goes up against Samoa Joe for the title. Put the title on Joe.
Yeah. Do you want to pull the plug on Kofi's run?
Dude, I was hoping Dolph was going to win it.
Really?
Yeah, when I met him at a piano fight.
Yeah.
At that comedy show, we were just chopping it up.
Yeah.
And then I was like, dude, I want to see you in the title picture when you get back. He's like, I'll try. And then like I was pulling for Dolph because like he's so damn good, man. Put the title on this guy. Go back and watch that build in 2016 with Ambrose. I just watched the SummerSlam, and that build was incredible. The match, but the build was very good.
Yep. I just another example of reset in the matches. So Kofi, took on, Zayn first.
Yeah.
Beat him. Commercial break. Come back, start the next match against KO. So that's another example of no wrestling during commercials. But even though Samoa Joe lost the U.S. title, he already had promoted up to a title match.
See, that's the thing about Joe. He can lose these matches but still be a credible threat.
Yes. And I love Samoa Joe as well. I would love...
I've been a fan of his for years, man.
Totally. And I would love to see him as a world champion.
Because he didn't win the Universal title in that awesome build with Brock at Great Balls of Fire.
Yeah. And was it like a fatal five-way at one point?
At Extreme Rules of 2017
that
he won to get that opportunity. He had all those matches with AJ. Didn't win the title. Like, come on, dude.
So, hopefully, they'll give him an opportunity at some point.
Or he's just going to get... Kofi's just going to get built up to lose to the best in the world, Shane McMahon.
That's true. Samoa Joe is just like, a placeholder before Shane comes in.
Or make it an Extreme Rules match, dude. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'd be down for it.
Man, I mean, just Samoa Joe in general, yeah.
Absolutely. All right, Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, a buddy of mine, Sean, he calls her Thicky Cross. Don't know why. They go on to defeat Natalya and Naomi. Alexa Bliss, that 365 on the network is a really good watch. I recommend that.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it after was it Stomping Grounds when the first premiered.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the whole thing, but anytime they have those like documentaries on the rest, it's always great to kind of learn more about who they were or who they are and
how they got to where they are.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, but I'm a fan of Alexa Bliss. I know some people aren't high on her in ring, but she gets the job done. She brought importance back to the DDT, which I'm a big proponent of.
Yes.
Yeah. So
there's a lot of moves in wrestling. Maybe we can do this a separate time, but there's a lot of moves growing up were finishers. Now they're just more used as transitional moves.
Super kick.
Yeah. Oh my God. Everyone does a super kick now. And they're like, I don't want to get us off track, but like I said, there's so many moves. But I'm glad, she's making DDT a legit finisher.
Yeah. So when's Nikki Cross gonna wise up or whatever that people are trying to, or maybe Alexa's really just changed her ways. We don't know. We don't know what's going on backstage.
It's another example of like the odd couple. You look at Mick Foley and The Rock. There's all these. WWE's done it for so many times where it's like the odd two people going.
I threw out Eugene and William Regal last week.
Yeah, I mean, so this is just a current example of the odd couple working together. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, two opposites coming together.
If they won the tag titles, wouldn't be mad at it.
Yeah, I mean that. I mean, like the Iconics, they haven't done too much with it. It's like,
I haven't done too much with the Bulletcast title, so it's fine. Like if
you're saying the example.
We're being honest.
So I mean, maybe, and then they could do something fun with that. I mean, you look at Kane and X-Pac, like all these opposites attract and have titles. So maybe they're due. What's that?
Goldust and Booker T.
Oh, absolutely. But it could be something if they want to keep this going for a while. That I think that'd be the next step is make them tag champions.
Absolutely. Sidebar: I want to be Goldust for Halloween. All right, moving on from that, AJ Styles wrestled the new United States champion Ricochet in the main event of Monday Night Raw. The Good Brothers were out there. AJ told him to go to the back, and it was fun. It was good. AJ, he did look slow leading up into his Money in the Bank match with Seth Rollins, but he looks like the old AJ.
Yeah, I mean, I think he had some nagging injuries. That's why he was kind of off TV for a while.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Totally. And listen, that's kind of one thing I love about NXT. NXT, I know it's TV. They pre-record stuff.
Not everybody's on every episode.
Exactly. So you'll see someone, and you won't see him again for a few weeks. So when you see him again, you miss them.
We're going to get to that with SmackDown, too.
Okay, so it's AJ Styles. Come on. Like, he was the
champ for a year.
Like, he had 2 long title reigns over the course of 2017 and 2018. Yeah, it's okay to go off TV for a few weeks and let's miss them, give opportunity for other faces to get some TV time and rotate. Do a nice little even rotation. I'm all for that. So having AJ back, though, it's awesome.
I know, but Ricochet feuded with Styles for the U.S. title. I dig it.
He was a U.S. champ before.
Yeah,
he won
twice.
Madison Square Garden, right? Was against Kevin Owens.
That was a random one.
Because were you at we were at APW show?
I was at APW.
Yeah, we were all there. And we all saw the news.
I was like, what?
What? On a house show? But it was at Madison Square Garden. Probably their last time there, right? Before they really focused on Barclays Center. But anyway, AJ Styles, I mean, maybe it was interesting to see him win because Ricochet just won the night before and then lose the following night. But come on. You lose to arguably the best wrestler in the world.
Yeah.
Outside Shane McMahon. But I'm just but both look strong here, but maybe Ricochet, the rumor is they're gonna have a match at Extreme Rules. That's like being advertised locally in that market wherever it's held at, the pay-per-view.
I'm excited for it, dude.
Yeah, as part 2, I'm all for it, and maybe then that's when Ricochet will go over.
Absolutely. All right, SmackDown recap. Kofi Kingston defeats Dolph Ziggler in a 2-1 in a 2 out of 3 falls match. If Dolph would have won, he would have been added to the Extreme Rules match, making it a triple threat. Kofi picked up the dub. What did you think of the match?
Another solid match. I mean, both these guys are longtime veterans of WWE.
They can go. Yeah,
they can go. So they're professionals. They're going to go out there and just deliver a great match on TV for everyone. So come on. Unless they don't care or go through the motions, but for them, they're going to give some great effort, and it's still just a fun match to watch on a Tuesday night.
Absolutely. Kofi wasn't the only New Day member that was successful. The other New Day members, Woods and E, defeated Daniel Bryan and Rowan, SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Then Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn got involved. Heavy Machinery gets involved. The current reigning defending Yellow County Tag Team Champions, I might add. So then New Day and Heavy Machinery goes up against Bryan and Rowan and KO and Zayn, and the heels lose.
I mean, Daniel Bryan, Rowan losing quite a bit lately, a little bit.
Make them stronger.
But I like Heavy Machinery, so I'm excited just to see them get some TV time and being booked pretty strong right now. So I'm all for that. That kind of helps rejuvenate the tag team division, especially for the SmackDown brand. But nonetheless, I mean, it seemed a little chaotic with so much going on, but nonetheless, it was great seeing all these guys going at it. But like I said, Heavy Machinery, I'm all for them getting a nice little push right now.
Absolutely. All right, Elias defeats The Miz in a best out of 2 out of 3 falls match. If Miz would have won, he would have got another match with the best in the world, Shane McMahon. 2-zip. Elias takes it home.
I'm just kind of glad. Like, Shane, Miz, let's be done with that. Let's all move on. Both of them go in their separate directions. Shane.
Where does Miz go from here?
It kind of sucks. Since he's been babyface, he's being booked, like, badly. But here's the thing. It's like, that's the one thing with wrestling right now. I feel like everyone's like, oh, this guy should be booked better. This person should be booked. Not everyone can be booked great at the same time. Someone's going to be booked good, and the other person's going to be booked bad. So things come in waves.
See, here's the thing. Throwing Chris Van Vliet out there again. He did an interview with Sean Spears, Perfect 10.
Yeah, I actually watched that one.
Yeah, so Sean said that wrestlers don't need to be pushed necessarily. They need credibility.
Mm-hmm.
So how can we build up Miz's credibility? Can he just host Miz TVs for the next couple weeks or a couple months? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But, like, what's he going to do in ring? Could he be back in the IC title picture? Yeah, but he's done that quite a bit over the years.
Yeah,
throw him in the U.S. title picture or something.
Or 24/7, but not. I don't want it. I want him away from that. He's
bigger than that.
Yeah. Just give him some solid opponents. There's a lot of guys like Ali has been on. I mean, they've been doing new vignettes with Ali.
Yeah.
I know Andrade was away for a while with some family stuff.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of guys that they can like rotate, just like special one-off matches each week. You know, like at NXT, we see a lot of people come at each other and just face each other for 1 week, and then they move on to the next opponent. So for Miz, yeah, just give him some good, solid matches of a variety of opponents. But yeah, right now I just kind of feel bad for Miz because I feel like they just don't have anything really major for him right now.
Yeah. So we were talking about guys being away for a while, and when they come back on TV, it means more. And so Finn Balor, the Fintercontinental champion, he's been gone for a while, and they were asking him who's his next challenger. Then Nakamura shows up, and I'm like, oh, good God. Like, wow. Oh, my God. Put the title on Nakamura. It'd be okay. It would be okay.
It's and I like he too sweet the title, the IC title as well. I'm glad to see Shinsuke back as well. Both of them have been gone on TV for a minute. Shinsuke even longer.
Yeah.
And I guess kind of I seen online because most recently Shinsuke and Rusev were a tag team. Looks like Rusev is getting some time off right now. Requested it.
Yes, that happened. I forgot.
Yeah, but so it looks like maybe Shinsuke is gonna get a singles run right now. But I don't know. I mean, Finn just became IC champion. I don't know if you take it off him so fast.
Dude, there are some instances where, like, the New Day and the Usos, when they had that feud and they were kind of hot-shotting it.
Hot potatoing around.
It was okay.
Okay.
So, I mean, let's say they have one match, Finn gets over, they have another one, and then Shinsuke Kinshasa out of nowhere knocks him out, and he takes it home. Or so. Like, that's fine. You know?
Charlotte and Sasha, they bounced around back and forth the titles.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that. Yeah. Really. The matches were good, but I was like, really?
I mean, please excuse my my lack of knowledge. Did these two ever have any feuds in New Japan when they were together at the same time?
I don't know, because,
I'll have to look that up.
Balor was, he's in that junior division.
Yes.
Before he took over Bullet Club, and Nakamura was always in that intercontinental scene when that title became in existence.
Mm-hmm.
So, not to my knowledge, no.
Okay.
But
it's kind of nice to finally see that come ahead now and watch it on
absolutely.
TV.
But Nikki Cross defeats Bayley, and I guess Alexa Bliss gets another shot.
Yeah, it's like, okay, another rematch at the next pay-per-view. Great. But I did enjoy Nikki Cross's excitement.
Throw Nikki in there, make it a triple threat. There you go.
Yeah.
Boom. Fresh.
Or maybe Nikki helps Alexa Bliss win, but I don't want Bayley to lose the title because she's already loses to Alexa Bliss a lot. Like, just her winning at Stomping Grounds, Bayley, I'm saying, that was great to finally get a win over Alexa Bliss. But I don't know. I'm like, yay, cool. I mean, I don't know. I'm not super stoked on the match, but it is what it is.
Yeah. All right, so backstage, Drake Maverick goes up to R-Truth and says, "You ruined my wedding," and all this other stuff, and R-Truth refuses to honor Drake Maverick's request for a 24/7 title match. And I was like, "Oh, Truthy, come on now."
It was funny, but I just, R-Truth looked like he had that compassion, like really looking out for him. And then all of a sudden, he's like, man, I love this belt more than you love your wife. I was like, wow, shots fired. He ran off. So, but I wonder, this could be a nice new equation. It's like R-Truth, Carmella, and now Drake. Like, Drake Maverick, I should say. Like, they're going to be this kind of a nice little, not to say a love triangle, but like a triangle involving the 24/7 title.
Yeah, and then that's been transferred over on 205 Live with the Kanellis is calling out Maverick about caring more about that title than his role as GM of the show.
Exactly. So that gives him that little layer of a story arc, especially for 205's sake.
Yeah, shout out to Drew Gulak winning the Cruiserweight title. I'm happy for him.
Dude, he's been with the company for a minute now, so to finally get an opportunity, I'm excited. And Tony Nese was still booked strong because he wasn't actually pinned. So he's still booked strong. Like, he didn't technically lose it himself. So I think maybe the two of them can have a nice little rivalry going.
Yeah. All right. Sonya Deville defeats Ember Moon. Shout out to Sonya Deville, the Pride fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like other storylines are happening in the women's division that don't involve the title. That's always good.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I've said this before. Listen, their roster is so huge for Raw and SmackDown. You can easily have like the title pictures, the tag title scene, the mid-card
title, and then like a non-title feud.
And then you can have all these other feuds. Like, there should be no reason why every hour should not be stacked with matches and less promos. Like, I feel like that's an issue right now in WWE. So the fact that like they have like a separate women's story arc building right now, I'm all for that. It just fills up time with some actual productive wrestling.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And shout out to Mandy's Donuts making it on SmackDown Live. Maria Menounos was on there, and go check it out. Demandy's Donuts is always fun to watch. All right, last up, who knocked on Aleister Black's... Oh, by the way, did you see the Easter eggs on Raw and SmackDown of like the Bray Wyatt puppets?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Throw that out there since there was no Firefly Fun House.
So I think that's the next step is like now Bray's moving on to actually like...
I think Bray knocked on the door. Aleister Black's always like, somebody come knock on the door, and Bray's always like, let me in.
Oh.
So, I mean, wow. That'd be interesting.
But then, I mean, because like to keep Bray, this new gimmick that he's doing, you got to book him strong. So would Aleister, in this new phase of him on the main roster as a singles competitor...
Or if not Bray, throw Randy Orton in the mix. I'm fine with that.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard a rumor, I don't know if I should say it, but like the rumor is that Aleister Black's first opponent is supposed to be Cesaro. So I don't know if that's Cesaro banging on the door. That's what I heard. I mean, it's all allegedly.
There was a dark match where Cesaro, EC3, and Bobby Roode won, and they looked like a nice faction that could form or something.
Ooh.
I'd be down for that.
So, I mean, could be at Randy Orton too, maybe. Like,
Orton, he can play with that dark realm.
Yeah.
Like he did with the House of Horrors match. I was there for.
Yes, yeah. Oh my God. Well,
never forget.
Yes, let's move on though from that.
Yeah,
but I mean, I've heard rumors Cesaro, but like, Randy Orton could be, I think, a really great option as well.
All right, that wraps up SmackDown Superstar Spotlight. Who do you got? Baby Huey, Superstar Spotlight. You pick a wrestler in the world who you think shine the brightest this week. Who do you pick?
Okay, this is just perfect timing. The fact that I'm on with you this week, and I'm really up on this. Not one person, it's a tag team. So the Von Erichs, So
I just watched that Von Erich episode of Dark Side of the Ring. That's sad, some sad-ish.
Exactly. So for any wrestling historical fans out there, know the long history of the Von Erichs, legendary wrestling family out of Texas. And
they're like the wrestling Kennedys.
Exactly, but unfortunately, there's a lot of tragedy out of all the Von Erich. I think there was like 4 or 5. There were
6 brothers.
6.
And he's not even a brother anymore. He's the last one left.
Yes, he's the last one alive. He moved to Hawaii at some point, I think in the maybe early 90s. He has 2 sons who are now wrestlers as well. They made an appearance on TNA a few years ago, and Kevin Von Erich came in the ring, did the Iron Claw in the match. But they recently signed a deal with MLW, Major League Wrestling. And this past week's episode of MLW, the Von Erich brothers made their TV debut. And so these are Kevin Von Erich's sons, Ross and Marshall Von Erich. Follow them on Twitter, Instagram. I think it's RAM Von. Oh, let me double check real quick before I don't want to screw them up. It's RAM Von Erich, all one word. So get it, Ross and Marshall Von Erich. But it's cool. These are Kevin Von Erich's kids. So these are third generation Von Erichs. The name itself is a historical wrestling name.
Yeah, you remember Lacey Von Erich.
Yeah. But
Was she actually related to them?
I'm not sure.
I think that was somebody's daughter. I can't remember.
I got to double check.
Yeah, I got to check on that too.
But it's just very cool, Ross and Marshall to get their debut on Major League Wrestling. They partner up with Filthy Tom Lawler, who's the current MLW champion, who we've seen
at APW with Brian Alvarez.
Exactly. So the three of them took on Contra Unit, which is Jacob Fatu's stable in MLW, which is so weird. Here in the Bay Area, APW, he's a babyface champion, Universal champion, but in MLW, he's a heel.
I think his family has huge family ties here to the Bay Area, so it just makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's just very cool to see these guys get a TV debut like that, and hopefully this means they're going to get a good run MLW. I would love to see the Von Erichs come here wrestle in the Bay Area. So
I'm a big Von Erichs guy. Like I love Texas Tornado.
Yeah.
And then
Kerry Von Erich. Yeah.
And then after David died, and then Kerry wins the NWA title from Ric Flair. Like there was like 40,000 people there. Like I've never seen the match. I just saw it from Dark Side of the Ring. Like he got a huge pop. So I've always loved the Von Erichs. And then plus I used to go to college in Dallas, Texas. So the old Sportatorium was there. And then just those stories of the Von Erichs and the Freebirds going at it and all these 6-man tornado tags.
So as you said, though, they very much are like the Kennedys of professional wrestling with how much tragedies they've been through. Like even more than probably the Hart family. But what I'm getting at is it's really cool to see this third generation hopefully can change the perception of what the Von Erichs mean to wrestling and bring change that and like bring some joy and some goodness back to
the Von Erich name. Yeah,
exactly.
It's crazy because like Kevin Von Erich's the only one left, and going back with the Kennedys thing, JFK's daughter Caroline, she's the only one left.
Yeah.
Her uncle, her father were assassinated. Her brother died in a plane crash. Mother died of cancer. So it's crazy. You know what happens. They say the Kennedy curse, and they say there's a Von Erich curse, so to speak. But I don't know about all that. But
so I hope they can turn things around. I'm excited for what's the future holds.
I'm gonna have to go check that out, man. I love.
It's free
Von
on
Erich.
YouTube.
Okay, cool. Dude.
Look up Major League Wrestling's YouTube channel, subscribe, and the brothers are very active on Instagram and stuff and Twitter. They've been sharing a lot of my stuff, and so I respect them a lot.
Cool. All right, so a promo pick of the week. What this is, I just take Brandon and I trade off weeks and a promo that's relevant right now, or if we just feel like getting a little nostalgic and throwing something back from like 2001 or 99 or whatever. Anyway, so Joey Janela's Fyter Fest promo going up against heading into his match with Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley's first big U.S. Show in ring since debuting with All Elite Wrestling and since breaking out of the walls of WWE, the asylum, so to speak. But have you seen this yet? Or you can just Google like Joey Janela Fyter Fest on YouTube and it'll pop up the promo.
Okay, I'll have to check it out.
There's like a casket and everything, and he's talking about how you were a cheap PG Kevin Dunn produced former your former self or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really good. I liked it. Joey Janela, saw him at Starcade. Chill dude, man.
Damn.
He's really nice.
You referenced Kevin Dunn?
Yeah, like flat out.
Wow.
You were a PG Kevin Dunn shell of your former self. Like that's what he was talking about. It was cool.
Well, I saw the announcement that their match is going to be non-sanctioned now.
Yeah, unsanctioned. Wow. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Oh my God.
Joey Janela, I saw him fall off a roof. That's how I became aware of him. All right, and then close match pick of the week, kind of the same deal. So Monday was the 18-year anniversary of King of the Ring 2001. Kurt Angle versus Shane McMahon. History behind this, Angle and McMahon had a rivalry. This King of the Ring was won by Edge that year, and he had wrestled earlier on in the night, Kurt Angle up against Edge and Christian. But it's that street fight where Kurt Angle bruises his tailbone. Shane McMahon he tries to go through the glass the first time, but they reinforce the glass so it wouldn't break during the fireworks. Go watch the Untold on the network. That's cool. And then so he gets through it again, and then Vince in the headset's like, "Don't throw him through it again." And Mike Chioda, the referee's trying to tell him that, but Kurt, because amateur wrestling cauliflower can't really hear in his right ear, so he just throws him through it again. And Vince walked away from Gorilla because he was incredibly pissed. And the spot where they do the angle slam off the piece of wood, Chioda had to hold that on because if he didn't hold it, they were just gonna fall and possibly be even more messed up.
Oh my God.
It was cool. This was probably Shane McMahon's best performance.
Yeah.
I've always said for not being a traditional wrestler, people call him a spot monkey. Shane McMahon has put on some of the best performances I've ever seen.
Dude, he's sacrificed his body a lot for his dad's company.
Dude, he's like 48. He survived like a helicopter crash like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Like crazy.
Dude, it's say what you want to say about Shane McMahon, but he very much like his dad's willing to do anything just for the entertainment value for us wrestling fans.
Yes, and Shane McMahon could become the first ever father-son world champion with Vince. I'm throwing it out there.
Oh my God.
But yeah, so go check that out. It was really cool. A really grueling match. All right, follow us on Twitter at Bulletcast, Instagram, The Bulletcast, YouTube channel, The Bulletcast. Email us, bulletcast2 is in the number 2, sweet SWEET@gmail.com. We are on 99.9 FM KW in Watsonville every Friday night from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Patreon. And we have a shop on Pro Wrestling Tees/Bulletcast. Go check us out. $19.99, asking people to part with their money. We understand that's the cheapest price I can get out there. We're going to have more designs coming up in the near future. Baby Huey, thanks for coming on, man.
Dude, thank you so much for having me. I feel so honored, and
Coming on the BC, this is what we do here, dude.
I appreciate it. And like literally, I respect so much what you guys do, and just the hustle. Listen, I get it. I know it's a lot of work to do this show every week, and
Yeah,
going
man.
to wrestling shows, supporting everything, and like I said, I'm just like I said, I respect and appreciate, and I'm proud of everything you've been doing.
Yeah, man, I remember you DM'd us on Twitter, and I'm like, you know who I am?
Yeah, no,
I was like, what?
Thank you to YouTube's like recommendation. Like, remember one day you just popped up on my browser on the right hand side, and I was like, "What's this?" And I started watching it, and that's how I realized, wait, these are Bay Area guys, and like out in Hayward. I was like, that's awesome, and like respect to that.
Just kind of foreign from there, but no, I appreciate you and Jimbo taking the time to watch my stuff and comment on it. It means a lot to me because I'm just a college student that works at a gas station trying to do something here.
We all have that story, that journey, and like, not to sound like John Cena, but don't give up. Like, just keep doing it. Good things happen to good people.
Get a dream, hold on to it, and shoot for the sky, baby.
I believe in that. It's like, no, seriously, I think people are noticing all your work, and that's the biggest sign of all the hard work pays off.
At APW, the Bay Area Bash, some random lady walked up to me. She was like, "Me and my coworker watch your stuff." I'm like, "You know who I am?"
That's awesome. Yeah, man.
Is that what it's like?
Yeah, totally. Like, don't give up. Like I said, like literally, like I said, I know it takes a lot of work, a lot of your personal time, but a lot of people are enjoying what you're doing.
Yeah, man. Honestly, like behind the curtain, it's a lot of me going to sleep at between the hours of 5 and 8 a.m. just staying up watching a lot of wrestling, just so in case something related to something I saw like from '94 pops into my mind, I can say that. Like, go check out Jim Cornette, Dairy Queen rant from '94. I think Chris Jericho was in the car. It's a video
in the backseat.
Yeah.
Jericho's going to be here in September. Fozzie's performing at Slim's and in Sacramento.
I missed that show last year. I did.
So you have two chances in September, San Francisco and Sacramento.
I met Jericho once back in 2014 before the whole list thing, and he was a really nice guy to me. So
dude, he is awesome.
I'd love to chop it up with him now.
Dude, I'll text him, and I'm sure he'll be down to hang out because he'll be in this area for a couple days at least.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, let's make that happen. Like, dude, he's so much fun to hang out.
I'd cry.
He like, real talk. I know he's a heel right now in AEW, but like,
no, he's a really nice dude.
He's
a genuinely cool dude.
No, to be honest, he sat right there when he came in the studio.
Oh my God!
Where you're sitting at, Jericho was sitting there. So, we hung out here. I'll tell you off the air our full story of hanging out with him. But for you specifically, like I said, no, thank you again for having me on here. I feel so honored, and looking forward to doing more talent sharing.
Yes, absolutely. Brandon's gone next week. I'll have to find somebody else. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to the BC. Goodbye and good night. Bang!
This has been the Bulletcast. Thank you for listening.